You ever notice how she bites her lip for half a second when you speak? Or how her voice softens just slightly when she says your name? You probably thought she was just being polite. Or maybe you convinced yourself you imagined it. But here's the uncomfortable truth: these subtle behaviors, they're not random. They're signals. Tiny, almost invisible clues that she's already locked in on you. And the real kicker? Most men never see them. Like that moment when she looked away the instant your eyes met. Was she shy? Or hiding something much deeper? Stay with me, because once you spot these signs, everything changes. Comment the last time you caught a girl doing any of these. If this ever happened to you, drop a p in the comments. And watch till the end, because clue number 7 flips the entire game. You walk into the room. The air feels thick, almost charged. You don't know why, but something feels off. Or maybe it's in your head. So you scan the crowd. Music's playing, people are laughing, some locked in conversations. And then you see her. She's not the loudest, not the one dancing in the middle. She's at the edge, calm, sipping her drink, casually toying with her necklace. Nothing extraordinary. Except one thing: her eyes. They haven't moved. She looks away just as your eyes flick toward her. So quick, you're not sure it even happened. Was she looking at you? Was it just coincidence? You brush it off. But 10 minutes later, it happens again and again. Always. Just long enough for you to feel it and question it. That's the invisible dance most men never see, because you've been told attention looks a certain way. Big, obvious, flirtatious. You expect loud laughs, bold compliments, a girl making the first move. But real female attention, the kind that's instinctive, it's rarely loud. It's rarely clear. And it almost never waits around. It's coded in glances, shifts, silences, in the way she touches her lips when you speak, in how she stays just close enough to hear you, but not close enough to seem obvious. It's a test, not of how charming you are, but of how aware you are. You probably thought she wasn't into you, but you were the only guy she was watching. At a party, a guy stands by the bar, texting. He doesn't notice the girl across the room who's looked over 3 times in the last minute. She plays it off, sips her drink, laughs at something a friend says, but her eyes always drift back. He never sees it, and by the time he looks up, she's already moved on, convinced he wasn't interested. Most guys only catch the obvious. But you're not most guys. Next time you're out, don't just look for who's staring at you. Look for who's looking away when you notice. Who's positioned herself just in your peripheral vision. Who seems to always end up near, without ever speaking. Scan the room slowly. Notice who keeps reappearing. Because attention doesn't shout, it whispers. And only men who listen hear it. You know that moment when you catch her looking at you, but just as quickly as it started, it's gone. Her gaze snaps away, like it never even happened. You probably tell yourself she was just zoning out, lost in thought, or maybe looking past you at something else. But then, it happens again. You're sitting at a coffee shop. The usual noise, machines steaming, soft indie music playing, the low hum of conversations. You're reading something on your phone, minding your business. And then, out of nowhere, that prickling sensation on the back of your neck. You glance up, and there she is, sitting 2 tables over, pretending to scroll through her phone. But her eyes, those eyes, they flick toward you just as you look up. It's too fast to be sure. You wonder, was she looking at me? Or am I imagining things? She immediately looks down, brushing her hair behind her ear as if nothing happened. You shake it off. Coincidence, right? But 5 minutes later, it happens again. This time, there's no mistaking it. You look up from your cup, and her gaze lingers. Just long enough to be undeniable. It's subtle, just an extra second. But it's deliberate. You hold her gaze for a heartbeat, and there it is, the shift. The moment she realizes she's been caught, her pupils widening just slightly before she quickly glances away. You might think she's just being polite. Maybe she's just friendly. But let me tell you the truth. There are no accidental double takes. When she looks at you once, it could be nothing. But when she looks back again, that's instinct taking over. That's her subconscious pulling her attention toward you. Whether she wants it or not, it's a gravitational pull. And most guys never notice it. Or worse, they panic. They look away too fast. They overthink it. They convince themselves they imagined it. But you're sharper than that. You're the guy who knows that moment is everything. Here's what you do. When she double-checks you, don't overreact. Don't get flustered. Instead, hold her gaze just a moment longer than feels comfortable. Just long enough for her to feel it. Then, and this is key, smile faintly, like you're in on the secret, and you're okay with it. Then, look away first. Calm. In control. That's how you flip the script, because most men freeze or look away out of fear, but not you. You'll hold her gaze just long enough. Then smirk, as if to say, yeah, I saw that. It's okay, It's not about making a move right then. It's about planting a seed. Letting her know, I noticed you noticing me. And trust me, that seed grows fast. Next time you catch her lingering. Remember this. Every second she holds your gaze is another second she's falling deeper into your orbit. Handle it with quiet confidence. Smile. Then let her wonder what it means, because now, she's the one thinking about you. There's a shift most men never catch. It's quiet, almost invisible. It doesn't happen in her eyes. It doesn't happen in her body language. It happens in her voice. You're talking to her. Maybe it's a casual setting. Maybe something formal, like a work meeting or a study group. You're not even flirting. You're just talking. But then, something subtle happens. Her voice changes. Her words slow down, soften. She leans in, just slightly, and suddenly it feels like she's telling you something meant for you and no one else. You probably think, she's just being polite, friendly, professional. But let me tell you something most men never learn. When a woman lowers her voice around you, when she starts speaking slower, softer, even more playfully, that's not manners. That's biology. It's instinct. Her body pulling her toward you, her subconscious dialing everything down to draw you closer. There's a scene that plays out more often than you believe. A guy sits in a meeting room, surrounded by colleagues. She's across the table, discussing a project, laughing at someone's joke. Her voice is normal, casual, loud enough for the room to hear. But then, she turns toward him. Suddenly, her tone drops. Her words become smoother, slower. She doesn't even realize she's doing it. She's now only speaking to him, even if she's still addressing the room. It's subtle, but powerful. Almost like she's pulling him into her world, just with her tone. He doesn't notice it. He assumes she's just being polite, or that maybe it's because he's sitting closer. He misses it completely. But if he knew what you're learning right now, he'd see it for exactly what it is, a hidden window into her attraction. You see, women naturally soften their voices around men they're drawn to. It's primal, a way of creating intimacy without even touching you. And most of the time, she doesn't even realize she's doing it. But you can. Next time you're in a conversation, pay attention. Notice if her voice suddenly drops. If she starts speaking more slowly, leaning in just slightly, lowering her volume so only you can hear. When that happens, here's what you do. Lean in slightly too. Match her tone, her pace. Speak just a little softer. You're not just listening anymore. You're meeting her in that space she's creating for you. That's when everything changes. Because now, It's not just a conversation. It's a shared secret, a private frequency that only the two of you can hear. You probably thought it was just her being friendly, but it's not. There's something fascinating about space. The space between two people says more than words ever could. And here's the thing. She knows exactly how to use it, even when she doesn't realize it. You're sitting at a group dinner. Friends, acquaintances, maybe a few strangers. The restaurant is dimly lit. The table crowded with plates and glasses, conversations overlapping. She's sitting across from you at first. Nothing unusual. You're chatting, laughing along with the group. You're focused on the story someone's telling at the far end of the table. But slowly, almost too slowly to notice, she shifts. She leans in just a little closer during a laugh, as if the joke was meant only for you. Then, she adjusts her seat. She's still pretending to listen to the conversation, but somehow, now her chair is angled toward you. Her shoulder nearly brushes yours every time she gestures. At first, you don't think much of it. Maybe she just needed more room. Maybe the table's too tight. Maybe you're imagining it. But here's what's really happening. She's testing the waters. Women don't randomly end up close to men they're indifferent toward. They move closer when they feel drawn in. Sometimes it's conscious, but more often it's a quiet instinct. Her body wants to close the gap, and before she can stop herself, she's already within your orbit. The guy sitting there, he probably thinks she's just uncomfortable, that she's shifting to get more space. He has no idea she's testing his presence, seeing if he notices, if he responds, if he leans in too, or pulls away. You assume she needed room, but what if she's pulling you in? This is the proximity test. It's subtle, but it's one of the clearest signs you'll ever get. And it's not about how close she gets physically. It's about why she gets there. Most guys miss it. They either ignore it or, worse, they lean away to respect her space. But you're not most guys. You'll see it, feel it, and play it right. Here's what you do. When you notice her moving closer, whether it's a lean, a slight touch, or her chair mysteriously ending up near yours, you stay calm. You don't jump on it. You don't make it weird. Instead, you mirror her distance. But slowly. Shift just slightly closer in return. Subtly, deliberately. No sudden moves. Let her feel that you noticed, that you're comfortable with it, and that you're in no rush. Because here's the truth most guys never realize. Women notice everything about space. And when you're the guy who doesn't flinch, who doesn't rush, who lets her enter your world at her pace, you become magnetic. You don't chase her proximity. You invite it. And once she's in your space, it's game over. Sometimes it's not the things she does boldly that reveal her true feelings. It's the things she does when she thinks you're not looking. The little, almost unconscious movements she makes when you're near. The signs most guys mistake for boredom, distraction, or nothing at all. But they're not nothing. They're everything. Imagine this. You're at a networking event, standing in a small circle of people. Casual conversation flowing around business, hobbies, whatever. You notice her across from you, seemingly listening to someone else speak. She's nodding, smiling politely. But something else is happening. Her hand keeps reaching for her bracelet, twisting it, then untwisting it. Fingers playing with the chain, tracing tiny patterns. Over and over again. You catch it once, then again, and again. It's subtle, so subtle that it's easy to overlook. Most guys would. They'd think, oh, she's bored. She's distracted. Probably thinking about what to eat later. But here's the truth. That little fidget? It's not because she's uninterested. It's because she's too interested. See, when a woman feels nervous around a man, it shows up in these tiny physical outlets. She plays with her jewelry, taps her fingers, adjusts her hair. Not because she's restless, but because she's subconsciously trying to release the nervous energy you're triggering inside her. You assume she was disengaged, but really, she's caught in her own storm of emotions. Because of you, that nervous fidgeting, that's anxiety meeting attraction. And it's one of the most overlooked clues in the game. But here's where most men blow it. They either completely ignore it, or worse, they start talking faster, trying to recapture her attention, not realizing she's already hyper-focused on them, internally, at least. The faster you talk, the more you crowd her space, the harder it becomes for her to process what she's feeling. But you're different. Here's what you do. The moment you notice her fidgeting, playing with her necklace, tapping her nails, adjusting her ring, you slow down your words. Drop your voice just slightly. Let the conversation breathe. Watch what happens. She relax, but she also lean in. Why? Because by slowing down, you're signaling calm, composure, control. You're showing her that you're grounded, not flustered by her nervous energy. And that makes you even more irresistible. Remember, she wouldn't fidget if you didn't matter. She wouldn't be nervous if she didn't care how you saw her. You're already inside her head more than you realize. And the next time she starts tracing circles on her glass, you'll know exactly what's really going on. There's a strange magic in human behavior, this quiet, primal instinct we all carry. And mirroring is one of its most powerful spells. It's one of those things we do without thinking. And when she does it around you, it's almost like her body is confessing something her words won't. Picture this scene. You're at a casual bar, sitting at a high table, the low hum of conversations blending with soft music in the background. You lean back slightly in your chair, resting your elbow on the table, casually sipping your drink. A few seconds later, she does the exact same thing. She doesn't realize it. She probably thinks it's just comfortable to sit like that. But it's not coincidence. It's her subconscious syncing with yours. You lean forward to say something, and just watch how she leans in too, almost mirroring your exact angle, your hand gestures, your pauses between words. Her body is falling into rhythm with yours. You might laugh at something, short, under your breath, and a moment later, she lets out a soft laugh too, even if the joke wasn't all that funny. You see, mirroring is a primal way of establishing connection, of showing alignment and comfort without ever speaking it aloud. But here's what makes it even more fascinating. She doesn't even know she's doing it. She copies your posture, matches your speech patterns, subtly follows your movements. Not because she's trying to play games, but because her brain has already decided it feels safe and attracted in your presence. Most guys miss it entirely. They think, oh, she's just relaxed. She's friendly with everyone. But you're sharper than that. You notice these hidden reflections, and you understand exactly what they mean. And it doesn't stop there. The second, equally powerful clue that often rides alongside mirroring is the laugh that lingers. This isn't the loud, exaggerated laughter you see in social circles when someone's trying too hard to be liked. No, this is different. This is soft, prolonged, almost private. It happens when you say something witty or lighthearted. She laughs genuinely, but then, after the laugh fades, she's still smiling, still watching you. Her eyes stay locked on yours, the corners of her lips curling just slightly longer than they need to. It's a moment most men completely overlook. They think, oh, she's just polite. She's enjoying herself. But here's what's really going on. That lingering laugh isn't about the joke. It's about the feeling you gave her. It's about the emotional high you triggered. And her holding on to it just a bit longer than necessary. She's savoring it. Savoring you. And here's how you handle both clues. Next time you notice her mirroring you, the sip of a drink right after yours, the way she crosses her legs when you do, or the subtle copying of your body language, Don't say anything. Don't call it out. Instead, pause for a beat. Hold her gaze just a second longer than usual and let a faint knowing smile cross your face. That slight pause, that subtle smile. It deepens the loop. It tells her, without words, I see it. And I like it. Same with the lingering laugh. When she keeps smiling after the joke fades, don't rush to fill the space. Let her sit in it. Let her feel it. The longer you hold that silence, the more powerful the connection becomes. Most guys try too hard to keep the laughs going, thinking they need to constantly entertain. But not you. You're the guy who knows when to simply enjoy the moment and let her come to you, because when she mirrors your moves and her laughter lingers, she's already deep in your gravity, and you're the center of her experience now. Don't let it go to your head. But yeah, you've earned that. Now, here's where things get tricky, because this next clue, it's the one that messes with your head the most. It's the one that makes most guys spiral, question themselves, and ruin everything before it even begins. It's the sudden switch. The moment she seems to pull away out of nowhere. You've felt it before, haven't you? You're having an amazing interaction. The energy's flowing, the smiles are easy, the chemistry feels undeniable. She's laughing, leaning in, hanging on to every word you say. And then, something shifts. She looks down at her phone, her smile fading just slightly. She leans back, creating more space between you. Her responses get shorter, cooler. Suddenly, she seems distracted, distant. And inside, you panic. You start replaying everything in your head. Did I say something wrong? Did I cross a line? Was I too eager? Too aloof? You feel it slipping, and every instinct inside you screams at you to pull her back, to fix it, to re-engage her somehow. But here's what most men never understand. That moment of disinterest, that sudden coldness, it's not rejection. It's attraction hitting a peak. Let me explain. You're sitting across from her on a date. Things have been electric all night. She's been giving you every sign, lingering laughs, soft voice, subtle touches. She's into it, into you. And then, without warning, she cools off. She checks her phone. She starts responding in short, clipped answers. She even glances around the room like she's bored. You feel that sinking sensation in your gut. You think you lost her. But in reality, she's not pulling away because she's over it. She's pulling away because she feels too much. Her emotions are escalating faster than she's comfortable with. And this sudden pullback, it's a defense mechanism. A way to regulate herself, to test the waters, to see if you'll stay grounded, or if you'll start scrambling for her attention. Most guys fail this test. They chase. They get needy. They try to recapture the moment by talking more, leaning in, cracking another joke, anything to bring her back. But you're going to do the exact opposite. Here's what you do when she suddenly cools off. You mirror it. When she pulls away. You pull away too, casually, calmly. You shift your focus elsewhere. Maybe your drink. Maybe the music, maybe even a friendly comment to the server or bartender nearby. You let the moment breathe, without panic, without neediness. Because here's the secret. In that space, she feels the absence of your attention. And just like that, her mind starts spinning. Wait, why isn't he chasing? Why does he seem so unbothered? Did I lose him? That's when everything flips. Soon enough, she circles back. Her tone will soften again. She lean in. She reinitiate because she realizes she misses the energy you were giving her. It's counterintuitive, but it's one of the most powerful moves you can make. When she pulls back, let her. Don't chase the sudden coldness. Respect it. Match it. And silently signal, I don't need to keep you engaged. I'm already enough, because here's the brutal truth. Most guys chase harder here and ruin it. You'll stay calm. You'll let her curiosity pull her back. Next time you sense that sudden disinterest, Remember this. It's not the end. It's the pivot point. The moment when attraction either deepens or dissolves, and you're the guy who knows exactly which way to steer it. Let's bring it all together, because once you know these clues, you'll start seeing them everywhere. First, remember the double take and lingering glance. Her eyes don't lie. If she looks once, it might be nothing. But if she looks back and holds that gaze even for just a heartbeat longer, you've already caught her attention. Watch her eyes. She can't hide it. Then there's her voice dropping. That subtle shift in tone, the softening of her words, the slower pace. Don't mistake it for friendliness. Her biology is doing the talking. Her voice lowers when she feels something toward you. Proximity shifts come next. She finds ways to get closer without making it obvious. Leaning in during a laugh, scooting her chair slightly closer. You thought she needed space? No, she's testing how it feels to be near you. Watch for nervous fidgeting too. The way her fingers trace the rim of her glass, or how she keeps playing with her necklace. That's not boredom. That's her trying to calm the nervous energy you caused. Then we hit the double punch, mirroring your moves and the laugh that lingers. She sips when you sip, crosses her legs when you do, matches your vibe without knowing it. And when she laughs, just a little too long. That's not politeness. That's attraction slipping through. And finally, the toughest clue, sudden disinterest. That cold shift? It's not rejection. It's her emotions overflowing. Let her pull back. Stay calm. Come back. Remember these clues. Watch closely. And trust me, you'll never see interactions the same way again.